Hello, Trojan fans, and thanks for joining us for an update with Director of Athletics Brent Jones. And Brent, jumping into it here, Coach Jared Parker was hired nearly a month ago and has hit the ground running ever since then. Let's talk a little bit further about the staff that he's hiring, what he's been doing on the recruiting trail, visiting with the current football roster. How's the things been going for Coach Parker in his first 30 plus days leading the Trojans?
It's thanks for having me on, Kyle. It's crazy to think of how fast things happen, but Coach Parker hit the ground running and assembled an amazing coaching staff. And I think you've seen that on the field as well as off the field, staff from analysts to GMs as well as on the field. And so to have our defensive coaches, all five of our on full-time on the field defensive coaches have been a defensive coordinator is simply incredible. On the offensive side, to be able to have, and we're still waiting on one announcement per some NFL rules that are going on right now, to be able to have two um, coaches who have called plays, been an offensive coordinator is incredible as well. Four coaches have coached at Troy prior, two of those being alums. Seven of them have had coaches directly recruited the state of Alabama. Very, very excited about this, and they're hitting the ground hard, really backfilling some of our needs that we had. We had a huge graduation class this past year, and so also you had some defections in the portal as well. And so I've been very pleased with how hard they have hit the portal and how great of a job they've done. And that's really a testament to those 15, 16 signees from high school as well that signed on National Signing Day early for us as well. So you're building that roster as part of it. Coach Parker has been out and around as well on campus from Fried Chicken Wednesday meeting with our students as well as on campus in the CAF. As well as going to basketball games and passing out shirts, introduce his coaching staff at halftime as well. So overall, very pleased with his effort, his energy, his intensity. And I should also make mention of getting the strength and conditioning coaches as well. And so that was a key component of what we needed to do. And I think he's hit a home run on all those hires.
Men's basketball is off to a very hot start in Sun Belt plays. They're currently 5-0, sitting atop the Sun Belt Conference as the sole possession of first place. This is the best start from a conference standpoint for men's basketball for the Trojans since the 2003 2004 season when they started 6-0 in the A-Sun back then. Let's talk further, though, about Coach Scott Cross and the men's basketball team. The excitement around this team is they're off to an incredible start thus far.
Really been spurred on by our fans as well. And so to be able to have four straight home games, back-to-back doubleheaders on Thursday and Saturday, simply incredible. A top 10 crowd that we had on Saturday for men, the all-time highest attended game ever for our women's program with Shanda Rigby. But we won six straight games. And you go back and look at the beginning of the year, playing Ole Miss, playing Dayton, playing Oregon State, playing some of these really tough teams, Eastern Kentucky as well. You look at that, we lost four of the games, three in overtime by 1 point. And so if you go back and look at, was this team going to fold, or were they going to continue to go out there time and time again, take everyone's best shot and give it back? And that's a testament to the coaching staff and to Scott Cross. It's not a mantra here, take the stairs. It's his mantra, but it's also something that he really believes in. And what that means is if there's a loose ball on the court, you're diving for it. You're taking that charge. You're making that extra pass. And it's been great to see. And look, these are some good teams that they have beaten as well. Louisiana, App State's a top 75 KenPom team. Southern Miss obviously finished second last year in the conference and had just come off three straight victories when we were able to defeat them. So it's really looking good with Scott Cross and what he's been able to do. I firmly believe that I think he's the best coach in the Sun Belt.
Now, not to be outdone, the women's basketball team is 4-1 in Sun Belt play, tied for second place overall in the conference. Coach Shannon Ribby and the women's basketball team, they played a very tough non-conference schedule, took their lumps early on, but seems to be paying those dividends as they just beat the defending conference champ in JMU, like you referenced here in front of a record-setting crowd here. Let's talk further about the success of the women's basketball team as they've won four in a row, and they're getting into a groove right now as well.
We'd be 5-0 if it wasn't for a bank shot three-pointer in overtime to defeat us against Georgia State. Look, what they were able to do, what Shanda Rigby and her staff and student athletes on Thursday, doubling up Louisiana, was simply incredible. That goes back to 3-4 years of what you've seen her be able to do from a dominant standpoint. To be 4-1 in Sun Belt Conference play, especially when you're playing the likes of Tennessee out of conference, you're playing the likes of Wake Forest and others. And so it was a really, really tough schedule that she put together. But I think the reason you do that is to build up, knowing you're playing this tough competition, but it's really to build up to get prepared for the actual Sun Belt Conference schedule. And I think she's done a really good job of that. And so to be 4-1 with one basket away from being 5-0 is incredible. It's a great time to be a Troy basketball fan.
Last week, the Football Excellence Fund was officially launched with new incentives for supporters to support Troy football at various levels there. Now in its third year, this giving program has paid huge dividends, supporting the Troy football team, back-to-back conference championships. But how will this continue to move forward, and how can fans be a part of supporting Coach Jared Parker and the Troy football program by way of the Football Excellence Fund?
This fund is critically important, raised close to almost, I believe, $1 million over the last 2 years, pretty close to that number, directly supporting our football program, directly supporting our coaches, our student athletes, nutrition, flight, recruiting, really the necessities that we have that we need to continue to build for. Look, we have an amazing support system here led by Chancellor Hawkins and his visionary leadership. And our fans continue to step up time and time again. You saw this past year, the last 2 years, been the highest attended seasons we've ever had. That was going into the season that we had sold the most tickets. And then you see the championship, and then you see the football excellence. So appreciative of Trojan Nation. We have included 2 different levels as part of this, or excuse me, 1 different level to really add some incentives. This is critically important for us to continue to have the championship level teams program that we want to have. And so I'm so thankful for our fans continue to step up time and time again.
Was recently announced that the Troy basketball programs have seen ticket totals and revenue numbers that have surpassed all-time marks here at Troy University. Great fan support has been fantastic all season long. As we turn the corner into January and now getting closer into February, you're in those key parts of conference play. What does that support really mean for the student athletes and the coaches as both the men's and women's basketball teams have their pursuits aimed at championships here in the Sun Belt?
I think you go ask Shanda Rigby. How was it on Thursday night? How was it on Saturday? You go ask Scott Cross. How was the fan support Thursday and Saturday? I know because I received the text messages and how thankful they are about this and how it makes a difference, especially coming out of the block. Those first 4, 6, 8 minutes are so critically important to be able to play your brand of basketball, your energy. Our student section, to have almost 2,000 students over a doubleheader period on Saturday is simply incredible. To be able to have, I think Ryan Kay told us, we sold 100 tickets from 5 p.m. on Friday night until 8 o'clock that morning. And so our fans continue to step up time and time again, and it's made a difference as you see our women's basketball team 4-1 in conference play, and our men's basketball team is 5-0. Coach Cross actually told me this directly. He's like, he could hear it on Thursday night with the back end of the doubleheader, how many fans we had there. And that got his team even more excited, even more energy. And so when you combine amazing facilities, amazing leadership that we have with the university, with the support that we have from our community to the great student athletes and coaches, you're really seeing excellence out on this court. And it takes every single person to be able to do this.
Opening day of the newly renovated Riddle-Pace Field is approximately a month away here for us. Excited to get the baseball season underway, and the stadium looks truly incredible. Let's talk about the impact that the newly renovated Riddle-Pace Field has already had on the baseball program, and also what's to come for our fans to be able to experience in person come February 16th.
To be able to see this vision be able to come to reality. And Chancellor Hawkins, again, we have great support here from the university administration and particularly Chancellor Hawkins to be able to have the nicest facility in the Sun Belt, one of the best in college baseball, not just in the state of Alabama, but it has been raved on by everybody. And it touches every single item that we're looking for. To be able to have the RBI club, indoor, outdoor seating, to be able to have the rotunda, to be able to have a recruiting area, to be able to have the coaches' offices overlooking this, to be able to have every single chair be chaired back, the lower level, the field level, level, to be able to have the cushion, really theater movie style seats as well, to be able to have a refurnished locker room, as well as to be able to have now an area where players can get together. There's a team lounge there. There's also a meeting room that they didn't have before. This checks every single box that we have. We have a great coaching staff. We got great players. We have a great fan base, top 50 in the nation. I believe top 40 maybe last year in overall attendance as well. And so this is a game changer. And now you're about to see the largest scoreboard in the Sun Belt Conference going into place. And so excited about that, as well as excited about the new items that we have for softball as well, with the new scoreboard going in there, as well as some additional padding and some branding. And so, again, you look across our sports. Baseball last year finished 35th in America, was 1 out away from going to a super regional, really. And so I'm excited about the trajectory. Look, facilities, people, those things matter, and just really thankful that we're able to put the best product forward here at Troy University.
Staying with baseball, to talk a little bit further about the new RBI club as part of the renovation process here at Riddle-Pace Field. Let's talk a little bit further about that brand new area. Will be open to fans for the first time this season. What comes with that? How can fans purchase those tickets, as well as other options such as the lower level field level tickets that are reserved there, the home plate tickets as well. Tons of great options for any type of budget for fans to come out and enjoy a great home baseball schedule this upcoming season.
Absolutely. I think the RBI club is going to be a game changer for us. Indoor, outdoor seating, be able to have a meal prior to the game, being able to have a credit card bar as well that you can have soft drinks, as well as indulge if you're 21 and over, adult beverages as well. Be able to have TVs, the sound in there. It's going to be a really, really beautiful setup. And so I think we've sold about half of these already. I think we're capped at 150. We've already sold 75. Each day we're selling 5 to 10 more. And our goal is by season, by the time that first pitch is, for us to be sold out in the RBI club, as well as on that field level. There's not a bad seat in Riddle-Pace Field.
Absolutely. And you go online to troytrojans.com/tickets to see the entire seating map and see your options available for both RBI club, field level, home plate, general admission, all the above there for it. And finally, Brent, you recently attended the NCAA convention in Phoenix. Talk a little bit further about what took place there, what items you're able to be a part of, and also bring back to Trojan Nation.
Well, I think first off, it's a privilege to be able to represent Troy University, as well as the Sun Belt Conference on the Women's Basketball Oversight Committee. So we had meetings out there. President Baker met with us directly, went over the new media rights, which I think is so critically important. That's baseball, softball, volleyball, cross country, track and field, as well as women's basketball. To be able to see that incrementally increase dramatically is great to be able to see. And then really go over name, image, and likeness, and what are those rules? What are those guardrails? How are we going to continue to do this? And then really he went over his proposal of the trust fund as well. And so again, that's just a starting point. There's been a lot of litigation from transfers, transfer portals with different attorney generals and states suing the NCAA. So currently there's a temporary restraining order right now from the NCAA to implement their transfer policies that have been in place. Right now, it's a one-time transfer exemption. After that, you have to sit out a year in residency. So we're going to see how this is going to be. What I'm excited about is President Baker's leadership with the CEOs, with the commissioners. He is really bringing forward some great ideas, and the NCAA is going to evolve. Troy University will continue to be a leader as part of this. Chancellor Hawkins has made it a priority and continues to make every single thing we do a priority. We're going to compete, we're going to win championships, and we're going to do it the right way. And so I think the future of intercollegiate athletics is in a very good spot.
And fans, for all the information that takes place throughout all of our sports here, be sure to visit troytrojans.com. For all your ticket needs, you can visit troytrojans.com/tickets for all the upcoming events here for it. Brent, thanks so much for the time today. And fans, thanks for joining us today as well, too. Go Trojans.